Welcome to Crushing It in 2013. We're going to learn today how to have more money, more passion, more time than you ever had possible in your entire life. Because that's what everyone wants. We want to get more out of our life, not just existing and going through the day. So we're going to learn this even if you have no kids, no money, no job, or hate a job you hate, and other obligations that you feel you must meet. But warning, we are going to move fast, so I got a lot to cover. We got 1 hour, so I want you to please go full screen if you can. And I see Jim saying you're having audio issues. Is anyone else not able to hear me? If you can, in the top, the questions. I don't know what's going on. It seems to be clear. Everything's hooked up now on my side. But if you're still having issues, let me know, and maybe we'll try to reboot something. So I want you to go full screen because I want to eliminate distractions. That's a big killer psychologically we're going to be talking about later. I want you to silence your cell phones, of course. Whatever it is, I'm sure they can wait another 45 minutes to an hour before you can respond. Close down your social media. You're not going to miss anything. Those tweets and those Facebook shares will still be on your stream. You can scroll down and catch up. You won't miss anything. But I want you to put the kids asleep. Close the door, put on headphones if you have to. Again, that's another thing. If you can, you're taking it in directly into your head if you prefer. That's how information gets absorbed a whole lot better. I tend to, anytime I'm listening to audio training, I put headphones on just because it goes deep within and you retain it better. So I just want you to ask you to spend 1 hour completely focused, totally, right now, just for this 1 hour, and remember why you are here. You joined here because you're looking for something else. You're looking to get more out of your life. You're looking for something. So if you can spend just 1 hour with me today and learn a few of the skills that I've learned over the way, I guarantee by the end of this, you will have a new look on life and lots of things will be different. So what we're going to cover is a simple trick to finding out if you're living your true calling and your purpose. There's a little quick thing you can do in 30 seconds and you'll know exactly if you're doing what you were supposedly meant to be doing. I'm going to teach you also how to spend 95% of this year doing only the things you absolutely love. I'm a big believer in doing only that which brings you joy, regardless of obligations and these things you think you must do. And I'm going to break down all of these things that you think you should be doing and must do, because most of it is choices that you are making, and you can make the choice not to. Then we're going to talk about the reasons why you feel like there aren't enough hours in the day and what you can do about that. I'll also teach you how I was able to attract my dream girl and how you can too, which I said maybe not all of you are looking for a dream girl, possibly dream guy as well. The method does apply across the board. I'm also going to show you a simple Facebook trick that will totally change the way you use the website and how it can just make you more productive, and it's what I do every day, and it adds so much more value to my life. And another trick on how to think like a younger brother and why this is completely important. You're going to want to look forward to that one. That's one of my favorites. And why you should absolutely stop reading self-help books. I'm a big believer in learning and education and advancing, but there's this one thing about self-help books that it might be totally the reason why you haven't achieved the goals that you want. So we're going to talk about that as well. And we're going to talk about how you can apply all this to even land the dream job or use it to be getting paid more than what you're worth. And we're going to cover a whole lot more. So, are you guys with me so far? Everyone's following along, not going too fast, and the sound is good. Just want to make sure everyone's with me. Again, any questions in the top, you'll see Q&A. Put your question in there and just let me know you're with me and you're hearing everything. Okay, good. Thank you. Now, are you comfortable in your challenges? That's something we're going to talk about. You have challenges and setbacks or things that you're not happy with your life, but people get comfortable. You get used to routine. Sometimes you think it's easier not to change and keep doing the exact same things. Even though you're not happy with it, you think it's easier to continue doing it because you're afraid of what could come of the change and not knowing the certainty. We'll talk a little bit more about so-called certainty and security too. But do you ever feel the hamster on the wheel? Like every day is just perpetual motion of doing the same thing day in and day out, over and over, but really not getting anywhere? I mean, think back to this time last year. Were you in almost the exact same place, doing the exact same things? Think about even 5 years ago. Has very much of your life changed at all? Are you still doing the same job, hanging out with the same people, going to the same places, just an endless routine, going to work, come home, eat, go to bed, wake up and start all over? Occasionally you have those few blissful moments on your weekend, which doesn't ever seem long enough because you have Saturday, and then comes Sunday, you're already thinking about why you have to be back at work on Monday, and you ever get there Monday morning and you're already looking forward to Friday? Yeah, there's something wrong with that. There's something you need to change if you have the exact same feeling. Deep down, do you know without a doubt that there's more? There's more that you want from this life. There's more that you want from your day-to-day. There's more that you want from your job, from your family, from your spouse, from your health. You just have this feeling that you just want more, but you don't even know exactly what more is. You just know you're not settled with what you have right now. And so you wish you had more free time to figure it all out. You think if you didn't have to work or didn't have all these other obligations and you had more free time, don't you think that would give you an opportunity to be able to figure out exactly what it is that you do want to do? Well, I was the exact same way. I was completely, a couple of years ago. I want to say it's going on 5.5 years ago now. But I was in this exact same situation. I started out in the mailroom at AT&T. Literally, I got what was considered the dream job right out of high school. I graduated, it was on a Thursday, and by Monday morning I was starting in with AT&T, and oh man, I was the talk of the family, because once you get in with a company like that, there was only 2 other lucky people in the family who were able to get in with such a company, and once they say you're in, you are set for life. Anyone else ever had that? You get that one decent job and everyone's so proud that they say, you're set for life. You'll have benefits for the next 30 years, your 401k package, and you can work your way up, and it's totally secure, and you've hit it. You're done. At 18, I was maxed out. And I was in this mail room. I like to call it the mail sweatshop. It was huge, huge. You see in the movies when you're pushing the little cart around in the mail room in office buildings. No, this was a giant warehouse where all of the bills were actually made. I mean, where it started out as the big rolls of giant paper that went through this machine that would print all the bills out for all the states, and then it would cut them, fold it, shove all the ads that you throw away that come in the mail, and stick it in an envelope. And the machine just about ran 80% of the time by itself, but every few minutes or so it would jam like an assembly line, and you would clear the jam from one of the envelopes and stack all the bills that got shot out at the end. You would stack them in a tray and send it down the mail chute. That was pretty much it. Loud, giant warehouse. I worked midnight to 8. That was my shift, and I absolutely hated it. And no, this is not actually me in the picture. Someone asked, it's not an actual photo, but it's a pretty good depiction, except that person looks a little happier than I did doing that job. I mean, I could not stand that job. I wanted to get out of there so bad, but everyone's telling me, be grateful for what you got. Well, some people don't even have a job, and you should be grateful that you have this. You're in one of the best companies. You got a great opportunity. So, they teach you're supposed to hate your job. Everyone hates their job. It's just what you're supposed to do. You just go along with it, do your 30 years, retire, and then you can live a good life. You have to work your butt off and work your way up the corporate ladder, and possibly get a raise every now and then, and that's just the way it's supposed to be. You're supposed to start at the bottom, hate your job, and work your way up. Anyone else ever heard this? This is the most terrible advice I've ever heard, but it's what's taught. It's what everyone teaches. I'm sure some of you have probably even told your kids this. Just get a job. It doesn't matter if you hate it. You have obligations. Most important is, being a responsible adult and doing what's expected of you. So I did. That's exactly what I did. I stayed there as long as I could. Ended up being one of the top. We had quotas. We actually had a certain number of bills our machine had to put out every day, and I came really fast. Not the most favorite person there because everyone there was stuck in their routine. There was a certain number, say 10,000 bills was the standard that you had to get done a night by your machine, and within a couple of months I was doubling that, and they were thinking about changing the standard to what everyone else was capable of doing. Everyone else had been there 20 and 30 years, and they looked like they were all comfortable in their misery. But I worked my way up, and I kept applying because once you're in AT&T, you can transfer. So there was finally an opening as one of their highest paying technician jobs, and they called it outside plant technician, or known as pole climber or a lineman. And yes, this is an actual picture of me climbing a pole and doing some work at AT&T. That was the dream job. It was the highest paid. I got to travel all up along the California coast for big jobs when there were emergencies, fires. They would call us in the middle of the night when there was a traffic accident and poles got knocked down. I mean, it was exciting. It challenged me. It challenged me to go further than I could each day. I mean, if you did something wrong, your life was on the line. One small step and I could fall and be gone. So it was physically challenging. It ended up helping me get in like the best shape of my life. Mentally thinking of different ways to pull these 1,000 pounds cable and all this around. I really did enjoy the job, but something was wrong. See, I did everything I was supposed to do. I had the house. I had the cars. I had 2 cars, totally paid for. They were brand new. I was making 6 figures easily there. So, I mean, what else could you ask for? I was making 6 figures easily, and actually enjoyed the work. And I had everything you're supposed to. Had the cars, had the house, had 2 dogs. I was taking my vacations every year. I would go somewhere. Been to Bahamas, Mexico. I had been all over. Had the marriage, which we'll talk about later. But yeah, everything was going great, going exactly as you would expect, having the job that you want. But there was just this longing still, even after doing everything that you're supposed to do. 10 years I did this job. And I just felt it was the day after I finally got my final raise. There was this feeling. It was so weird. I can't even really explain it. At the time, I couldn't explain it, but the day I got what was known as the final raise, because it was a union, so once you got to a certain point, that was as high as you could go. So there was no more raise to get. If you wanted to advance, like to my boss's position, the technicians actually made more than the boss, and his job absolutely sucked. So there was no way I was going to work any further to go past that. So I was literally at the top. I was one of the top go-to guys, the top head lineman. I had my own crew. Could pretty much pick which jobs I wanted to do. You never even saw your boss. I mean, it was awesome. You would walk in the beginning of the day, what jobs you had to go do, and you would see him again at the end of the day to fill out your timesheet. That was it. You had all the freedom to do everything, but something triggered in me once I got that final raise. Once I knew there was nowhere else to go, it's just something about knowing that there's no more challenge, there's nothing higher you can go, even though you have all these things that you thought were supposed to make you happy and make you complete. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Even though you're doing everything right, you have all these things, anyone else have that longing where you just feel like something is missing, something just ain't right. How can I have done everything and just still not have the feeling and the happiness and all this that I thought a new car and a vacation and all this would give me? So I couldn't explain it at the moment. That's when I talk about the problem with the corporate ladder and what we've been taught and what we're probably teaching other people. And have you ever just had that feeling like you spent all your years climbing up the corporate ladder only to get to the top and realize it was leaning against the wrong building? That's what I want you to avoid. I want to teach you exactly all the process that I went through so that there's no way you have to go through this exact same thing of spending years wasting climbing up to some goal that you may not even really be wanting. Once you get to the top, you realize you didn't even want this goal. Don't spend the time following that. So I quit. I literally, after I got my final raise, it was a couple weeks of thinking about this. I wrote my resignation letter, and I put in 2 weeks notice and quit. Everyone thought I was absolutely crazy. I mean, family, friends, everything. Everything came crashing down. No one understood what I was doing. No one gave the support, and everyone thought I was just wasted. One of the best opportunities ever. And I literally lost everything. I lost the house. I lost friends. The marriage collapsed pretty much right after that. And so was it easy quitting? Absolutely not. It was a very tough decision. It was something I realized that something was wrong and that something had to be done. So it was the best decision I ever made in my life. And when I really sit back and think about what my life would be like today if I would have stayed in that quote-unquote perfect world and that high-paying job and that security for 30 years, I mean, I shudder. Like, I look at the old guys that were on the crew who had been doing it for 30 years, and it's hard on your body. You know, most of them got injuries, bad backs, bad hands. Look at some of the older people in the position that you're in now. And if you can honestly say you would trade your life to be where they are in 30 years, doing the exact same thing, then by all means you may have had it. When I looked at the old guys who did my job for 30 years, I cringed. There was no way I wanted to be that guy. So since then, since quitting the job in 2007, I was able to meet my dream girl. I've traveled all over the U.S., lived in Sacramento, Los Angeles, Long Beach, Vegas. This is all just within the last 5 years after quitting, after having no job and losing everything. Traveled all over the U.S., Henderson, Arizona, Wilmington, North Carolina. Now I'm in New York. I've tried almost every job in the world. This list could go on forever, but I did do some acting in L.A. While we were there, I was in a few commercials, in a few movies, met quite a few stars that had some fun there, did enjoy that. I did a impromptu live stage performance in Vegas where I kind of just showed up. I just showed up and they were down staff and asked me if I could do it, and it was like, we'll be on stage in 30 minutes. And yeah, this was no experience. No, nothing. Just, and we're gonna talk a little bit about facing fears and what are these human drives that really make you come alive. Oh, I have some stories. If you guys ever want to contact me later to hear some of these stories, these 5 years have been insane since I quit. I did car sales. That lasted a good couple of weeks. Did not enjoy that. I thought, you know, knowing my marketing and sales, I'd be able to just show up when I want and sell any car. I thought it would be cake, but no, they had rules. They kind of want you to show up and do it the way they think you should do it. Even though their system makes no sense the way they want you to do it, where you could totally increase sales, even them, they're stuck in patterns of what you're supposed to do. So I left there. I did real estate for a while. Now, you could, I don't care what people say about the market. Oh man, I made so much money in real estate so easily. I'm telling you this, not bragging or anything. I just want you to know that. I could literally go into any town or city right now, and within 60 days, I could close a $10,000 deal without spending any money of mine or no credit. Whatever. It doesn't matter what the market is doing. Real estate is so easy. I did this every couple times when we would enter a new city. I would put together a couple deals in order to make some quick cash. It really is that easy. Seriously, if somebody out there who wants to know about real estate, you don't need any experience. I didn't have a license, didn't have anything, and it's all legal. Of course, some of you are going to ask. And I see your comment, Keisha, about your portfolio. You really want to talk to me about real estate? Definitely contact me. Like I said, everybody, I want this to be interactive. If you guys have questions, put them in the box. I want to be working with you guys along the way. But yeah, if you want to, well, I could go on and on about how easy it is to make money in real estate. But again, it was the same thing. I didn't love it. It was starting to cause me more stress, and so I stopped doing that. So if you want to talk about real estate, I can teach you easily. I can set up a system in 60 days, make you a deal. But anyway, so I even did a delivery to the stars in Vegas. That was one job I did where it was a company where you would deliver anything from any restaurant to all these famous people who were staying in hotels in Vegas who didn't want to have to drive through the crazy strip to go to some of these fancy restaurants or wait in long lines. So what we did was we would deliver it to them. So tell us what they want to order. We would call any restaurant, because normally only pizza places and stuff deliver in the middle of the night, and we would call these 5-star restaurants and order the food to go pick it up, and bring it to their hotels. They met so many stars doing that and saw some crazy, crazy things in Vegas. I got more stories for Vegas. Again, I think everyone should live in Vegas at least 1 year. I really do love that place. The people are nice. Once you get off the strip, the town is great. Anyway, love Vegas. Loved living there. I would definitely move back. I was a professional gambler. Learned that in Vegas, of course. And no, I'm not kidding. There was literally months where I made the rent money by playing Hold'em poker. That's where the World Series of Poker was. I didn't ever get to actually be in it, but I did play professionally to pay the bills. Again, that is phrase they had was that is the hardest way to make an easy living. Again, if you study anything can be done easily. I got a couple of books on no limit Hold'em. Learn how to play it, start practicing. You just follow any system strategically, and you can make anything work. And that's what I would do when I would start something new. If I had the freedom to do it my own way, I usually made it profitable really fast. So if you want to learn how to play no limit Hold'em for money, you can contact me about that too. What else? I was a coupon salesman. I don't even want to talk about that one. That one was terrible. We did wholesale fragrances, so we found people that would do wholesale for these top name brand fragrances, not Juicy and J'adore and all these name brands, and when you buy them wholesale, we would get them for like $10, $15 that normally sell at Macy's for $60 and $70, and we would sell different perfumes and colognes. I mean, I tried everything. I'm telling you, I was on a search to figure out what it is, this meaning to life, and how to get more from it. We did Mary Kay for a little while, not me, but my lady was doing Mary Kay. It goes on. I tried everything so you guys don't have to. I figured out what it is, the key that you should really be going after. And most of the time I was going after these things because seeing which one paid the most. And although it is really good to have lots of money, if you want long-lasting excitement for your life and passion to really get up and go, there's more to it than just having lots of money. I'll ask you guys this right now. How many of you know people who make far less money than you, but seem to be 10 times happier than you? It's not the money that's really going to change it. And it took me trying these 50 different jobs and all this different stuff to figure out that the core behind what really drives us as human beings isn't the money. Another question, how many of you know people who make 10 times more than you, who make a whole lot more than you, and they seem absolutely miserable? How many of your bosses who make more than you, or people higher up in your companies, seem like they're absolutely running into the ground? Their body looks like it's been hurting. They just walk differently. They're not excited about their day. Do you really want that? Do you really want to do a job that pays more that you absolutely hate? I don't think you do. So what changed? What finally got me to figuring out exactly what I should be doing? Well, one of them was the very last real estate deal. That was kind of a turning point for me. Was one of the deals we did in the city, the very last one. We made good money. It was want to say made like 13,000 or something crazy in like 2 months working on this deal. But something just snapped in me. The people were getting angry. It just wasn't fun. I didn't feel like I was contributing, like I was bringing value to anyone. I made a good deal, and yeah, the end person who bought the house got a great deal, but it just didn't feel, something snapped. Like I need to go after something else. I was doing it for all the wrong reasons. Yeah, I could make the cash really fast, but I realized that wasn't bringing lasting happiness. Yeah, when we would close a deal, we'd go out and celebrate, eat stuff really good, and then the next day you're back off working on the next deal, and it just wasn't lasting. So what I discovered these last 5 years of trial and trial and trial and error, or what I like to call these keys to enlightenment, and how I've devised the CPR for your life system, or what I use now to change my life and the people who I work with. And we'll get into all of that shortly. If you stay on with me till the very end, we'll have something special that only you guys who are live will get, that the people watching this recording. So if you're watching the recording right now, sorry, this is only for live event. So by the end of this call, though, you will know exactly what you need to do right now to see improvements like this in your life. And you probably won't be able to sleep, because once you learn these, you'll be so fired up that you'll want to jump out and start on it right away, that you just know all these things that you want to go do. And that's how it was for me once I finally got it. Some of these things are going to go against your beliefs and what you've been taught. And that's the point of it, is what you've been doing and what I was doing for so long wasn't working. So the plan is to go against that. If it's not working, try something else. So let's get started. Is everybody with me so far? Am I not going too fast? You can still hear. Everybody's doing good? Okay, great. We'll keep going. So what is CPR for your life? Step 1, quit complaining. Oh my God, I know I'll probably lose half the call with this one right here because you've heard it 1,000 times. So I won't spend a whole lot of time on quit complaining, but we'll get into the neuro science of things here. But when you're complaining, not only do people you're talking to not care what you're complaining about, they seriously don't. Everyone's self-absorbed in their own thing. It does repel people. You keep complaining enough, you'll see people start to avoid you, start backing away, and really don't want to hear every time. I mean, do you have those people that are around you that every time you see them, that's all they're doing is complaining and complaining? And I hear you saying, yes, yes, oh God, yes. So don't be one of those people. Don't be the person who every day you come in and the first thing you start off with is how bad your day was, or what traffic you hit, or all these terrible things. And I know why people do it. You can try this out in any group setting. When you go in and complain about your problems, you get all the support at first. They're like, oh yeah, what happened to you? Well, look what happened to me. And you get this, what you call negative attention. The second you come into a room and you start saying, man, I'm so awesome, I am the greatest person in the world, I'm so happy, you'll see people start running. People will walk away, they'll call you conceited. It's the strangest thing in our society. When you talk about how bad you're doing, you get support and people want to be around you. You talk about how awesome you are and you're conceited or or bragging or whatever they want to call it. It's completely terrible, but those are the type of people that don't embrace your good qualities. Those are the ones you're going to end up removing from your life anyway. But another important thing about complaining is that your brain doesn't know the difference between what's happening right now and what's not. I know you've seen the studies where they hooked up these athletes to the machines that measure muscle activity, and they have them imagine running a race. In their mind, vividly imagine running a race, and all of their muscles fired off at the exact same time to the exact same intensity as if they were really running the race. So that's something you want to look into. So every time you complain about a problem, the same emotional effect and everything it had on you at the time of whatever you're complaining about, like that traffic that made you so angry, notice next time what you're talking about. When you're telling the story to someone else, feel yourself getting exactly as angry as you were earlier, as if it's happening again. So just be more conscious of what you're talking about and what you're speaking. Just stop it. Cut it out with the complaining. No one cares. No one wants to hear it. It doesn't actually make you feel any better talking about it, so just stop. Next, we're going to talk about create chaos. This is step 2. This is my favorite. This is a favorite process, and you'll see the pattern how many times I did this. So creating chaos is one of the most important things I want you to make a habit of doing, is creating organized chaos in your life. So I'm not telling you that you need to quit your job. I'm not going to want you getting off this call and going to quit your job right now. But your job, quit your job. I'm not telling you to quit your job, but quit your job. Stop it. There's no reason to spend any time doing something you absolutely do not enjoy. Why? Think about the end result. Why are you doing this job? And if you say it's obligations and you got people depending on you and you have bills and all this stuff, whatever, stop it. You don't have to do that job. You're making a choice to do that job. You can get another job. You have skills that someone else needs. There's always skills that you have that you could actually enjoy doing. Just get rid of that negative thinking. And again, I'm not telling you to leave your spouse, but leave your spouse. If you're fighting all the time, if there's just no passion left, and again, you're just going through the motions and you're staying together because you're supposed to, and there's really no other compelling reason you can think of besides you're supposed to, or we have a house together, or any of this stuff, think about that. Yeah, I can get into that, but dump your friends. If you've got friends that aren't supporting you, that aren't following you, that don't embrace you, that aren't doing the same things that you want to do, that aren't on the same path, you need to get rid of them. Seriously, it's a tough thing to do. It really is, but it may be the most important. And yes, including family. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, family does count. Again, it goes to those obligations and shoulds and supposed to. Those are the worst words in the language. Just because, certain people are family and they've been around, and how guilty they'll make you feel for not going to so-and-so's birthday party or whatever, when you really don't want to go. You really rather spend your day working on your goals, then you may have to cut them loose. If they're not bringing value into your life, that goes with all of this. If it's not adding to your life, then remove it. If you remove that item from your life and you feel better, then you need to remove whatever that is from your life. Again, this is moving out of the neighborhood. It could be moving into a new city, be clear across the entire U.S. like I've done, and still planning to move again. It could be just something simple as just making a change. The thing is the pattern interrupt that Anthony Robbins always talks about. You have to create some sort of chaos that makes the catalyst start. Do what you've been doing is the worst thing you can have is boredom and routine. if you're doing the same things over and over and over in your life, that becomes monotonous, and you almost end up like, so if you can learn anything else, create chaos. You know the saying, you can't still second with one foot on first. So, you know, when there's an idea that you have, you want to create some sort of change or try something new, but you all faith. That's what most people do. You end up not making any action because you're going through all. You put 100% into whatever it is that you're going to try when you're trying to keep one foot on first, so to speak, or you can't learn to swim while keeping one foot on shore. Sometimes you just got to dive in. Just jump in. If you have to quit your job, leave a spouse, leave your location, do something, whatever is right for you, you'll know. Chances are most of you already know what that one thing is that's keeping you stuck in a routine and that hamster on the wheel. Find that one thing that you can mix things up and just do it. Burn the ships. The other phrase of how the war was won when the troops got on shore is when they told them to burn the ships. It was when you don't have an option to turn around, you really a little bit more. When you have a backup plan, 9 times out of 10, your backup plan becomes the main plan. So I have a whole nother series on backup plan, what they call having that security. It's a false sense of security. When you have a backup plan in the back of your mind, you're thinking, oh, if this fails, always get rid of that thinking. Don't even think about, oh, if this fails. Plan on succeeding. It's a total think all my entire day around fail so that way I have a backup. Instead, plan your entire existence around what if it succeeds. Be prepared for that. If you're going to plan for something, plan for it to take off and go exactly as you planned it. Plan absolute success in everything that you do. So in order to create change, you have to create change. So change isn't change until it's change. Stop. You have to know that if you want something different in your life, do something different. Be something different. Just change one little thing. Today, by the end of this call, find one thing that you know you can absolutely do different and change in your life right now. Most people wait for something different to come, wait for there to be layoffs at the job before you finally end up deciding to look for a new job. Or you wait for your spouse to come home and say they're leaving before you finally start doing things for you and putting your goals and your needs first. Don't wait for something exciting to happen into your life. Create new change that you want right now. This is the most important thing you can do. You can, right now, make a drastic change in your life right now by picking one thing that isn't adding value to your life and removing it. So can you see, if you did this one thing right now, how your life could head in a totally new direction? Are you guys with me? Do you see it? Do you know the one thing, things right now that you could change and see a completely different heading in your life? You're at a crossroads every single day. You have a choice to do something different. So start. Just this was creating strategic chaos in your life. Change something, anything. If it doesn't work, change something else. Keep moving, keep growing, keep finding new ways to add excitement and passion and things into your life the things that you want. Just go after it. There's no reason that you should wait in years and years and maybe one day you have a good life when you're older. Go after it right now. Step 3 is clarity. It's getting clearer on the vision, and that's why clarity comes after creating chaos, because sometimes you have to mix things up in order to be able to, through the rubble, really see what it was you really wanted in the first place. If you're still doing everything routine, the same, just hope it won't. But when you leave, or you have no house, car, nothing, and you're just looking for a place to stay, like some moments that I had going through it becomes clear what's important to you. And I found out things like the money. I've had some of the greatest times of my life when I had no money. These last 5 years, I can say without a doubt I didn't make nowhere near as much as I made at AT&T, but I've had more excitement, more passion with every day. I've done travel. I'm telling you, I've done more things having that freedom to not be worried about all these things. It seems so backwards that I was able to do more, travel, be more places with no money than I did when I was making 6 figures. It's strange, but you can find that out. You have those moments of clarity sometimes after the chaos has blown up and you start creating. So I don't want you to use this as an excuse to take no action. Sometimes when I get clear, they spend so much time analyzing everything. You want to check, read every book on the subject first, and you want to make sure everything is absolutely perfect. There's never going to be a perfect time ever. Learn everything about what you want to do, and you'll never be absolutely prepared. It'll never work exactly as there was one quote that says, it was on the enemy. So what they would say is, even though you have an entire plan mapped out of what you're going to do, the second it hits the real world, all of that changes anyway. You'll learn to adjust and think quick on your feet and adjust with a plan. So spend less time planning and more time just doing things and figuring out as you go. And definitely not saying no everything ahead of time. Don't worry about doing all this planning. You learn more from experience than you do from reading and learning everything in book smarts. And that's why we created the chaos first. Next, I want you to learn to think like your little brother. So what does thinking like your little brother mean? This is part of getting clear and taking action. I want you to watch this and pay close attention, because this is profound, good knowledge coming from the educational experts over at Peanuts and Charlie Brown.
What would you do if I kicked those over? Probably nothing at the moment, but years from now, after you're married, and you and your husband want me to co-sign a note so you can buy a new house, I'll refuse. Ugh! Younger brothers learn to think fast.
What you have to do, I hope you enjoyed that. I thought that was great, is when something comes up, just act right then and there. If he stopped, what would be the best option? she would have kicked his toys over and he would have had to start all over. So think like a little brother. Work, think on your feet, make moves, take action, start creating change right now. By the time you get off this call, do something. Start. I know you've heard that one. Doing nothing and analyzing is way worse than doing something and trying and failing. Because when you fail, you have a result. You have knowledge. You've learned what actually works. So don't be afraid of failures. Use it as learning points. Use it as stepping stones to learn what works. See, had I would have not tried those 50 different jobs over those 5 years, I wouldn't have learned what was really important when picking a job or a career, and I wouldn't have learned that I had a passion for sharing things with other people. And by doing that through talking and sharing trainings like this I absolutely love, whether it's one person speaking to a room of 1,000. I totally enjoy talking with people, sharing what I love. It's just something I'm passionate about, and I would not have learned that had I not made all those mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes. I did lots of online marketing and websites and building, and I did lots of things that was able to make money. But I realized I was just doing things that just to make money. None of it was doing anything that brought real lasting happiness. Make it a habit of creating chaos and making choices quick. And one Facebook trick. So Facebook is I think is a huge energy dump if used wrong. Energy drain. Most people are on there complaining, and you get sucked in and you spend too much time. Probably not you guys in here, but I know lots of people who spend time on Facebook, and the way that I it adds knowledge to my life that I actually found a way to love Facebook again. So let me have to get out of this to show you. Now this is, I hope you're gonna love this, but what I do right now, all right, Facebook, here we go. So this is my page, Coach Comeback, and you see my stream has creative spiritual women, life, happiness in your life, an angel, practical tips for productive living, Belmont's emotional wellness. Like these are, when I come to Facebook, these are the things I see. I don't have the stream of all the friends saying, you know, oh, I hate all this traffic today, or so-and-so did this, and oh, they're got only only things that uplift me. There's a post by Mind Body Green, 5 tips to better understanding people. Life by Me, another really good one. Power of Positivity. Start of Happiness. I like that blog. So do you think if you spent Get Rich Slowly, Marianne Williamson, do you think if you spent the majority of your time on Facebook reading, having your stream filled up like this, it would be a little bit more positive experience and it wouldn't feel like complete time totally wasted? I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm on Facebook fun and positive and a learning experience at the same time. So all you do is create a page, because your normal stream, when you're on your user, your home page, all you see, you get some of the pages that you like, but you also get all your friends and stuff you really don't want to care to. And then there's times when you're relaxing at the end of the day, and yeah, you want to socialize and hang out and see that stuff. But for the most part, if you're looking to make some change in your life, you want to spend more of your time doing positive things. So I'm going to show you quickly to do this. So I'm logged in, so I'm going to show you from the start. You go to create page, and we'll just walk through it. It's pages, facebook.com/pages create.php, and I'll put that on the slide. Oh, I guess that wasn't showing. So facebook.com/pages create PHP, and oh, there's my email. I'm gonna anyone, really doesn't matter. I always just do brand or product. Choose any category. You can pick anyone you like. I always just pick website because they don't bother you. Pick any name you want. Positive streams. Agree to the terms. Get started. And as long as it's accepted, you don't even need to upload a photo or do any of that. But in a matter of moments, you'll have your own Facebook page, and you'll be ready to go. So now how do you get your stream to show only the good stuff like that? So what I do is you just like all of the positive that are the things that you'll be interested in. It wants to give me all this stuff to do. So say we'll start with Deepak just because we just saw him. So what I do is I'll like, you have to select use as page. So right now I'm using it as my personal, but we want to use it as that new page we just created. So you just select it, click at the top and click use as page. So now you'll see I'm using it not as me, but as positive streams. And so now we'll do it really quickly. Like his page, and then you see his likes. And usually they're going to like similar things to them. So they like curiosity. I'll click see all, and you can see Paulo Coelho, the author, and then I'll go to the likes. And he doesn't have that many, but basically fill up your not personal page that you like. That's an app, but anyway, you get the point. That's simple. Then when you come to Facebook, go use as the page and click home. And now your new home stream, so you just like follow, and it's just filled with only the pages you like, only the things you want to see, only positive. So we've only liked him, so that's all we see. But that is my Facebook trick for using Facebook to actually be a positive experience and learning more from it. So create a page and use as page and start liking. If you're into cooking, baking, start liking baking pages if you want positive things. If your goal is to learn more about accounting or business, then start liking some pages that are all about business. Either way, don't spend as much time on the friend stuff as you could on your time so that you can start using Facebook to learn more. And that's one of the things that I do that adds so much value. And step 4 is connections. I'm trying to speed it up here now. So you want to create some positive connections in your life. So you learn from people, not books. And that's one thing why I say you want to maybe not so many self-development books are not actually helping you because they teach theories instead of actual results. That's why I say you should always learn from other people who've actually done what it is you want to do. Get curious in other people's lives from someone. If you wanted to open your own dog training business, instead of reading a book on how to do dog training, go out to your local dog trainer and ask them what they did to create that business. So it's not a step 1, step 2. You'll actually learn exactly what they did from tried. You know the method is tried. You know it works because they're doing it. So learn from people. Get curious. Whatever it is, the goal that you want for yourself, find someone who's already doing it and learn them. See if you can interview them. See if you can get them on the phone. Most people are more reachable than you think. And another thing is I hate orgasm self-help. That's a phrase I like to call it because that's exactly what it's like. Is you feel really good for a moment and then a day later you don't even remember why you even felt so good or why you're with that program or whatever, and then you're off looking for something else without even taking any action. So lots of self-help, they're really good at getting you hyped up and getting you feeling good, and you're jumping up and down and you're clapping and you're motivated and it makes you feel good, but you don't actually do anything. There's a lot of blog posts like that will, a lot of articles you'll read, they're motivational, so to speak, where they have lots of great quotes and great pictures, and they make you feel good for the time you're reading it. You feel really good and you're like, that was a really good. You're back to feeling bad, you didn't actually do anything, and you're looking for something else to read. I want you to look for things that inspire you to do something. Think at the end of every time that you read something, think, how can I immediately put this into practice? What can I do right now that I can use this and actually put it into play? Because, you know, you forget everything that you hear. We say we forget almost 80% of what we hear within the first couple hours. So unless you're putting it into action, it'll be gone and you won't even remember what you just read anyway. So look for things that inspire total action. That's learning from other people. Get in the habit of doing and not just listening and just to feel good. The goal isn't just to feel good for 5 minutes. The goal is to create lasting change and make feeling good a habit. That pretty soon you don't need to read any more books and you're not looking for any more blog posts or coaching or anything because you now have it inside you and you know exactly what it takes because you know the second you're not feeling good, you know what actions to take and you can start making yourself feel better immediately. So get in the habit of looking to take action and not just feeling good for just a fleeting moment. So you can get biographies, learn about people instead who's doing what you want. And make sure that any books you're reading is not based on theories. It's not just based on some process that they're sure will work for everyone, but it's based on actual results because there is no plan that's going to work for everyone. Nothing, the exact same thing that may bring happiness to your neighbor is not going to be the same thing that brings it for you. You have to go out there and try your own things and find out a plan that's specific to you in order to get the actual results that you want. And get in group settings. Find like-minded people and people that you can talk to who actually are doing the exact same things, who are on the same path, who support you. Don't share it with people who are not on the same pathway as you, because it'll end up just slowing you down. They'll have a way of telling everything bad that could go wrong, and it'll cause you to overthink it, and you won't do anything. So I see we're a little bit over time. I thank all of you for being with us so far. I'm going to try to get through this quickly, but this is just the beginning of the CPR process. That was just step one, the C. We still have the P and the R. There's just not enough time to go over this entire process right now in one sitting, but I was getting lots of requests from people who wanted live and wanted some more coaching and wanted one-on-one, so I decided to do this, and may possibly do another one. That's what we're going to be planning on doing in a large group setting starting in February. So how many of you guys feel like you got a great start today? Do you feel like you learned something, like you know at least one thing you can go out and do right now? And I'm seeing some thank yous and yeses. I appreciate that. But this is definitely a great start. If you do one thing, go out and find a way to make some changes in your life, and you'll start to see some change. But the entire CPR process, go into how to protect your passions, how to, once you decide what it is you want, how to protect it from negative influences and your own mind getting in the way and overthinking everything, and why you should never share your goals with anyone. That's huge. So many people have really great ideas, and then the second they start getting into it with to check if it's a good idea with someone else, it immediately changes them. So we'll talk more about why you should never share your goals with anyone. We'll talk about why you should stop asking for advice, and instead you should be the one giving advice to other people. We'll talk about how to get paid what you are worth. How many of you know that you're not getting paid right now what you're worth? You know you should be doing something else that's more to your strengths and your pleasures, and getting paid good money for it. Yeah, that's most of you. You always know you should be getting paid more. And we'll also teach you how I lost 20 pounds in 4 weeks, and how you can too. Now that's a little bit different, because that's where we're going to talk about the health aspect of it. Health plays a big part in whatever you're doing. If you lost a few pounds, just losing 5 pounds, you have more energy. More energy means, excuse me, when you have more energy, it means you can be more productive. You can do more, you'll get more done. If you're doing more, getting more done, you'll automatically end up you'll be getting paid more, or your value will be more because you're contributing more. You'll be contributing more for your kids. You'll contribute more to your spouse. So something simple as getting in better physical shape, whether that means weight loss, whether it means eating better, whatever that means for you, that for each person we can talk about exactly what your fitness goals are, because if your body isn't doing good, nothing else can follow. The foundation is getting your body in optimal health to be able to keep up with all these new things that you're going to be doing right now. And we'll talk about how to be totally selfish and get exactly what you want while having others gladly giving it to you. We want to get you to a point where you're so in tune with what it is that you want, and why it's not a bad thing to be selfish, why it's absolutely necessary to take care of you and ensure you're at your peak before you can begin to start doing things for other people. and how to have people actually going out of their way to make sure that happens for you. We'll talk all about that. Talk about how to completely reinvent yourself. If you want complete and total change from mind, body, soul, everything, we're going to go over that completely in the course. We'll talk about how to take massive actions and knowing exactly what actions to take so you don't waste all of your time like I did, wasting years doing things that provide no value, or 10 years in a corporate job that you end up regretting that you wasted the time. We're going to talk about how to know ahead of time so you don't make those mistakes and spend lots of years and time that you don't want to waste. Time is too valuable. It's all that we have. Use it doing only the things that you love. So if you're interested in going to the next level for CPR advanced training, where we're going to cover all of that and more, we're also going to be giving you 4 weeks of group coaching. So we're going to meet twice a week. We're probably going to do Tuesdays and Thursdays right now. We're going to do full month of February, starting February 5th, the Tuesday. You're going to be able to ask your questions live. You'll have an email that you can send some questions in early in case you can't make it live, which I would highly suggest that you'd want to be there live. But we're going to contour a plan specific for you, exactly what you need. We're going to decide whether or not if quitting is right for you, or changing spouse, or even decide what the career is that you actually want to do. If you want to go into business for yourself, if you want to start a new restaurant or a bakery, or you want to work from home, we'll teach you exactly what to do, how to get more time and freedom out of your everyday life. We're going to have a private Skype group so that you can have one-on-one chat directly with me and the other members, because I encourage that. The group contact is so important when you're with like-minded individuals. Some people ask in the past for a Facebook group, but like I said before, Facebook is too distracting. You'll go on Facebook for 5 minutes to check in with the group, and it ends up 2 hours later, and you haven't done anything. So that's why private Skype group, it's more intimate. It's more one-on-one. We used to charge $37 a month for the private Skype group, but we're not going to do that. We're going to throw that in. But with the one-on-one, you have the option to call and get a video chat right then. You're connected directly with other members. We know how important that is to have that community of like-minded people, because you're going to be removing all who are not following along, who are not on your same path. You'll have direct access to other members. We talked about that. And you'll have an accountability buddy. So what that means, so right now when we offer the group coaching, we're going to be starting next month. This is something no other program, no one out there is doing this. You can bring someone with you absolutely free. So when you sign up for the workshop, you'll just send me an email of who you want to do with you. If it's a spouse, if it's a friend, or if you hook up with someone else who's on this call and you guys just want to split the cost, doesn't matter. Well, the whole point is, when you have someone else who's counting on you, that you guys both join this together, you're more likely to follow through. I mean, how many of you have ever gone to the gym to work out? When you're going by yourself and you wake up and you don't feel like going, it's so easy to be like, nah, I'm just not going to go today. But when you have that other person who's meeting you there, you know you can't let them down or leave them hanging, so you're more likely to go when you have someone with you. So we want to use that to make sure that you follow through and see the change. I don't want you doing this if you're not going to follow through, because ultimately it's your life, the one that you're working for to change. If you want to change in your life and you bring in your buddy, they're gonna help you, because you're gonna want to compete and share notes and take care and do it with you. So right now, as soon as you join, you send me the email and contact of who you want to join with you, and they will be a member as well for free. So it's 2 for 1. You'll get that absolutely free, and you'll get free access to the membership to 30-Day Comeback. So 30-Day Comeback was a program we put together where, because again, I believe so much in learning from other people, that there's over 15 interviews from all the different amazing people, like John Morrow, who is, you really have to read his story. Look up John Morrow and on dying mothers and fighting for your ideas. He is just a man that's accomplished so much while being physically handicapped, where he can only move his face right now, and he's done amazing things. People like Johnny B. Truant, we got Alden Tan, just a ton of great entrepreneurs who've done great things, who started off on probably where most of you are, where they didn't have a clue, didn't know what to do, and they came on and shared their full story of how they did it. Not theories, not what they think is a good idea, but sharing their exact story of how they did it and how you can too. And that program alone, we sell it for $97, but you're going to get that today as well. That's it's at 30daycomeback.com. You can see that. You can't even buy that right now. But you're going to get access to that for free, only for being on the call. This is only for live people who are on the call right now. So everything, one payment is $97. That's if you go to coachcomeback.com before the end of this webinar and hit join, you'll see the sales page that's private just for the people in this webinar. But what you're going to get, again, we'll run down, is the full 4-week group coaching, one-on-one access to the Skype group. We'll have a one-on-one consultation call where we can contour your exact plan for creating the life change for you. You're going to get free access to the 30-Day Comeback, which you can start listening to immediately. The interviews are in there as soon as you join. You can start listening to some of these amazing stories of people coming from nothing. Like there's Mary Yaksh, one of my favorites from Good Life Zen. She lost everything in real estate. I mean, everything. Lost all of her money, everything, and she came back to create Great Life Zen website and now doing very well. And she shares her story, emotional story, really inspiring. So you're going to get 30-Day Comeback. You're going to get to bring another friend for free, so you can split the cost if you want, but you have that accountability buddy. When you join, someone else gets to join with you. You can give it away as a gift. You can have it someone else on the call, but you do get accountability buddy, and you also get access to the private Skype group where we can chat one-on-one with and other members anytime during the day, 24 hours a day. That'll always be on. So go to coachcomeback.com/join. You'll see the registration page. Right now, we also have a double your money back guarantee that we're doing for just people on the call. So if you come to every session and you consult with me one-on-one, you come to every session, and by the end of the course, you're not making more money for yourself, you're not being more, having more, or being accused of being on drugs, because you'll be so happy, so much full of energy, running around, jumping out of bed, because like I said, you won't be able to sleep. When you're excited for life, when you're fired up, it's hard to sleep. When you are totally on purpose, fully engaged, and know what you want out of your life, it really is hard to sleep. I jump up every day because I get excited that I get to share with people like you guys on the call, all of this that I've learned and done over these years. And if by the end of the session you're not feeling the same way, you've come to every single class and you've talked with me and we've consulted and you haven't seen a complete 180 change from your life on a completely new path, then yes, you contact me and I will give you double what you paid back, no questions asked. That's part of my plan. If any changes, then I don't want you to have to pay anything. So only risk you have is making a change in your life that totally improves the quality of your life and the people around you. That is what I do. That's what I teach. And I'm totally just looking to create a life-lasting change for you. So I was going to end it with the Q&A, but we will stop there if we have any other questions. It's coachcomeback.com/join, and we can start as soon as you join in. I'll send you the email. You make sure you send me the email of the friend, and you will have them join also as free and get free access. Otherwise, I want to thank everyone for being on the call today, and look forward to seeing you on the next one in February, where we'll be doing this again. We may even do another one sooner if we get too many people. We may have to split the class up, but go to coachcomeback.com/join for access to one-on-one private coaching, free access to 30-day comeback, and double your money back guarantee if you're not making complete and long-lasting change in your life. Again, thank you everyone, and we'll see you inside the group call on February.